Hey everybody, welcome back to another 2002 Ford Ranger video. Well, this week I'm going to mod a switch panel. I had a viewer by the name of Robert send me this, which was very nice of him, much appreciated. This, I guess it's a storage cubby that I think may have come on the earlier Rangers. I'm not sure if it's an earlier or later Ranger. Anyway, this is in place of the ashtray that I have. So what I'm going to do, I went to the hardware store and I picked up this piece of aluminum here, and or stainless, maybe it's stainless. No, it's aluminum. Anyway, yeah, aluminum. What I'm going to do is going to fabricate a blank inside here and then mount my two switches for my LED lights, my rear lights, and my front spotlights on there, because the ashtray is pretty useless. So anyway, stay tuned as we figure this out together. All right, welcome back. Well, what I've done is I've cut this, the width will fit inside here. And don't mind the yellow tape, I'm gonna peel that off. That was just for my, my line. So once I fit this inside here, what I'll do is it'll end up looking something like this. Then I'll bend this back across the top, give it a place to attach with some screws up here. And then through the back of this pocket, I'll drill a hole that's big enough to fish the switches through. And then I will mount them to the face of this aluminum. And what I might do is actually, instead of painting this black, I may leave it and maybe kind of scuff it up a little bit, just give it more of a brushed look. I think that's kind of cool. But either way, it's going to be an easy project. And this, I think this sheet was about $7. And I'm not sure the price of this, but you can find this at a junkyard or on eBay. I don't imagine it's too awful expensive. So now I'll figure out the rest of my measurements, cut it, and we'll fold it and attach it. All right, showing a little progress. What I've done is I've cut this to stick inside like this. So it's set back. The switches will mount to this panel, and then I will take this and fold it back, and it will attach to the top of this inside with some screws. So I will probably put some epoxy or some glue on the bottom where it attaches to here, but because it's kind of forced against this lip back here, it's going to be nice and sturdy. But I don't want to screw through the bottom because the bottom of the panel is visible. So kind of a cool hack once it's all done. So now I'll just figure out where I need to bend the top and cut it, secure this in place, and we'll be ready to mount it. All right, over here inside the truck, in preparation of the installation, I'm going to go ahead and take this out. I think there's probably a couple screws underneath here, and then one inside the ashtray. You got to pull that out. But these are the two switches I'm talking about. These will end up mounting on the face of the pocket. So let me go ahead and get this whole assembly out, and you can see maybe a little better the room I have to work with. All right, here's what the ashtray from a 2002 Ford Ranger looks like, covered in dust and disintegrated dash foam. Anyway, I doubt this thing has ever been out, but 4 attachment points, one here, and down below one there and one there. 4 7mm that came out, and then you have to unplug the airbag switch right there. And actually you need to go ahead and remove the airbag switch from this one and install it in the new one, because I'm assuming whichever used one you got, well, it may or may not come with that, but you're going to probably want to stick with the one you have because it fits the factory key. So bring this over to the workbench, get it disassembled, and start to assemble the new one. Just mounting the airbag deactivation switch, and this can go in 2 different ways. I originally put it upside down and then realized I had to flip it around. So this is how you want it to look if you're trying to follow along and do this yourself. 2 screws go down here. I'll get those tightened, and then this should be able to go together so you can see what it looks like. All right, a bit of an update. I've got this metal all prepared. This will be the face of it. And because my switches are already installed and I don't want to unwire the whole thing and fish it back through, what I had to do was cut a hole here and here. They will be mounted right there. The cord will loop up because on those switches the cord goes up at the top. You won't really see any of that, but what I had to do is cut some relief slots on the top so I can get feed the wires down there. Again, you won't see any of this because it'll be hidden inside the box. The only thing you'll actually see will be from about there down. So I guess I'm going to leave this aluminum, but I am going to kind of scuff it up, and I've got some Scotch-Brite, so I'll probably do that and then clean it with some Windex, which will allow me to go ahead and double side tape the switches back to here. I'm also going to use this double-sided tape, a piece on the bottom and then some on the top. This will be sandwiched in here, and this won't move because, again, I have it so that it's hard up against this plastic lip back here. So when it's all said and done, you won't see any of it. Oh, one thing I had to do in the back wall of this part, I had to cut a relief hole. It's ugly, but again, you won't see it. I had to just use a step bit right there that I had to borrow from my next door neighbor. So thanks, Tim, appreciate it. Couldn't find mine. Anyway, I'm gonna get this all put together. Here in the truck, as I'm getting ready to put this thing back, I've got the base all attached. This one only attaches with 3 fasteners rather than the ashtray, which attached with 4. So I have 1 left over. And I've got the wires run through the back hole back there. Like I said, you won't see any of that. Draped down over the top, where I will mount these to the face, snap this whole thing back up in place. It's held in with kind of pressure clips. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Stay tuned for the reveal. And here's a finished product. Pretty happy with the way it looks. Got those switches up and out of the way. Can't see the wires for those anymore. They're in their nice cubby. Nice and easy to turn them on. And best of all, didn't cost very much money at all. So just for the cost of a piece of aluminum, or you might have something else laying around. I suppose you could use wood or really anything, maybe some plastic. And this storage cubby used, or maybe you already have one in your truck, I would say that that's a good result. Pretty happy with the way it looks. That'll do it for another episode of the 2002 Ford Ranger. Let me know what you think down below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I read all the comments. So until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.